Hello, and welcome to the Stage Resource. I'm Joseph Dodd, and today I will be talking about how to pick and prepare a monologue. I've gone ahead and prepared one from Sam Shepard's Buried Child, in which I'll be performing the role of Dodge. So we'll go over the context of the monologue, I'll show you the monologue, and then we'll go into depth in the process. Buried Child is about a once prosperous family brought to ruin. Dodge is the father of that family, and he's addressing Shelley, the wife of his long-lost son. She's trying to figure out what went wrong with the family, and this monologue is the apex of Dodge's character arc. You're not scared, huh? Well, that's good, because I'm not either. See, we were a well-established family once. Well-established. All the boys were grown. The farm was producing enough milk to fill Lake Michigan twice over. Me and Haley here were pointed toward what looked like the middle part of our lives. Everything was settled with us. All we had to do was ride it out. Then, Haley got pregnant again. Out of the middle of nowhere, she got pregnant. We weren't planning on having any more boys. We had enough boys as it was. In fact, we hadn't been sleeping in the same bed for about 6 years. Where are you going? Upstairs. You'll just be listening to it upstairs. You go outside, you'll be listening to it outside. Might as well stay here and listen to it. You want to hear this, don't you? Well, even if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Haley had this kid. This baby boy. She had it. I let her have it all on her own. All the other boys, I had the best nurses, the best doctors, everything. This one, I let her have by herself. This one hurt real bad. Almost killed her. But she had it anyway. It lived, see? It lived. It wanted to grow up in this family. It wanted to be just like us. It wanted to be a part of us. It wanted to pretend that I was its father. She wanted me to believe in it, even when everyone around us knew. Everyone. All our boys knew. Tilden knew. Tilden was the one who knew. Better than anyone. He'd walk for miles with that kid in his arms. Haley let him take it. All night sometimes. He'd walk all night, out there in the pasture with it, talking to it, singing to it. He used to hear him singing to it. He'd make up stories. He'd tell that kid all kinds of stories, even when he knew it couldn't understand him. We couldn't let a thing like that continue. We couldn't allow that to grow up right in the middle of our lives. It made everything we'd accomplished look like nothing. Everything we'd done was canceled out by this one mistake. This one weakness. I killed it. I drowned it. Just like the runt of a litter. Just drowned it. Let's talk about how to pick a monologue. If you're not given a side from the play you're auditioning for, you'll want to pick a monologue from that play or from a play of the same genre. Next, you'll want to make sure that the monologue has an arc, a beginning and an end. That way, you can show a range of intense and complicated emotions. Now let's talk about how to prepare a monologue. The first thing you'll want to do is type it up and print it out double-spaced. This will leave lots of room for annotations and notes, and by the end, your paper should look pretty messy. The next thing you'll want to do is underline the operative words. These are the words that are emphasized in every sentence and will have a big impact on delivery. The next thing to do after that is to memorize the monologue. You should memorize the whole thing and not just shower memorized. You should be able to repeat the monologue word for word, even while doing complicated tasks. This will make sure that the words of the monologue come easily to you and you can focus on the emotional delivery. And speaking of emotions, the next thing you'll want to do is plot out the emotional arc. These are the emotions that the character wants to convey to the audience, but also the emotions that the character is feeling but doesn't want to convey and has to suppress. The next thing you'll want to do is figure out the character's rationale for saying the monologue in the first place. What's his relationship to the person he's speaking to, and why does he feel he has to say these words? And what can help with that is plotting out the action verbs for what your character wants to do to the person he's speaking to. And next, the final icing on the cake is images. When you're talking about your monologue, you'll want to find specific images from your own experience that tie into the emotions that the character is feeling. And in the delivery of that monologue, you'll pick up those images and see them. And if you can see those images while you're performing that monologue and really let them impact you, the audience will see those images as well and see that the character's emotions are true. The last thing is to prepare for your performance. You'll want to drink plenty of water beforehand and do some tongue twisters and tongue push-ups to loosen up your vocal cords and your tongue. It's not always necessary to do an accent for the monologue. For instance, Dodge from Buried Child is a pretty old guy, but I didn't do an old man accent because that would distance me from the character. Now, it's very important to remember to go more slowly during the monologue. When we're auditioning, we get very nervous and tend to speak more quickly than we need to. So just remember to go more slowly than you need to, and everything should work out. That's it. Good luck on your next monologue. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video.